Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark are all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
Night had set in over the Greyhold. A mercifully gentle breeze blew in a flurry that dusted the castle battlements and towers. It was a good night for a wedding, the king thought. Ambrose looked down at his court gathering in the godswood from the tower Violet had chosen to prepare in for the ceremony. Many were gawking at the imposing weirwood. Its face seemed animated in the torchlight. Behind him, Renny fussed over their eldest daughter's dress, making sure everything looked pristine. "Mother, enough!" Violet exclaimed, exasperated. "I could go to Owen dressed in a sag and he would still claim it the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen." "Seven forbid it, Violet," Renny exclaimed. "Ambrose, what do you think of Violet? She's not nearly ready yet, is she?" Ambrose turned and took in a breath. Violet had never looked so much like her mother than in this moment. Her dress made of the finest fur, wool and silk, and her hair woven in an intricate braid with the native northern flower, the winter roses, spread throughout her locks. She looked just as her mother had when he first met her, the maiden incarnate, with fierceness and strength befitting the warrior himself. Ambrose chuckled. "You doubt yourself, my love. You've outdone yourself." "See?" Violet said, extending an arm towards her father for dramatic effect. Renny chuckled and walked to where her husband stood. "It's going to be a relief when you marry. Poor Owen will have his hands full with you." Ambrose laughed as Violet flushed red and bickered with her mother. He was glad this match happened. Owen and Violet had been best friends since they could walk. It only seemed natural to him and Brandon that they would eventually marry. Owen was good for her. As strong and brash as he had become, Violet had him on a short leash and he loved every second of it. Ambrose extended his arm towards his eldest daughter, and his favourite if he was being honest with himself, and said, "Shall we?" Brandon's voice echoed throughout the godswood as they approached in between the line of torches. "Who comes before the old gods this night?" Ambrose cleared his throat and responded. "Princess Violet of House Sevenstar, a maiden flowered and true born, who comes to claim her?" Owen, who looked incredibly nervous, replied, "Lord Owen of House Greystark, heir of the Grey Cliffs, who gives her?" "Her father, King Ambrose of House Sevenstar, Lord of Andalia and Protector of the Realm." There was a short muttering amongst the wedding guests. Protector, that still seemed to be in question at the moment with what had happened to House Brightmire. Brandon's voice silenced the crowd and broke the king from his thoughts. "Princess Violet, do you take this man?" His daughter let go of him and stood tall as she walked towards her bridegroom. "I take this man," she said, smiling. The ceremony ended as quickly as it began. Owen removed her maiden cloak, something Renny had insisted on making alone, and replaced it with a cloak emblazoned with the white wolf of House Greystark. Brandon stepped away from the heart tree and the young couple prayed to the old gods for their blessing. Then they rose and kissed. The wedding feast that followed was one befitting the North, good and simple food, drinking contests, dancing, and all kinds of drunken banter. Owen and Violet whispered to each other at the high table, lost in their own little world. They had danced many times throughout the night. Now they merely picked at some of the roast that remained on the table. The festivities carried on over the next week and Ambrose couldn't have been happier. This was the realm he dreamed of making, Andor's first men and Andor Northmen united together, a sentiment only furthered by Violet and Owen's wedding. Their children would have both the blood of the Kings of Winter and the blood of House Sevenstar running through their veins. Hopefully when they came of age they'll be able to lead a better world, a better Andalia. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we return to Andalia and King Ambrose I, to a kingdom that is a little bit broken at the moment. Obviously we did expand our lands quite a lot in a few episodes ago, but then we had a massive northern revolt, so a lot of the lands aren't in the best position at the moment. But then as we've seen from the introduction there, we have had a royal wedding where our oldest daughter, Princess Violet, has wed to Owen Greystark, the heir of Greyhold. He's not got his adult picture yet, but he must be very, very close, as Princess Violet does have hers. And she's got, wow, 25 diplomacy now, which is incredible. She would have made an awesome queen if it wasn't for the fact that we did have our young son, Engar, in the last episode. But yeah, now we've joined Andor and First Man together with this wedding. So hopefully that may calm the revolts a little bit up north. But as you can see here, when I clicked on Greyhold, there is a religious unrest at the minute. Local revolt risk and local tax modifier are both hugely affected, and they have a small winter reserve, so that's good. Apparently it's flourishing though, other than that, which is fairly surprising. But a lot of these areas, as you can see, the Frosty Shore is in religious unrest, and here we have Lord Arlen Oxter, who is the new overlord of this area. He's currently protecting it as a knight, but if he protects it well, he will be the new lord of it, obviously replacing the Flakes, who unfortunately died out in the last episode, and Ambrose's nephew, which was pretty devastating. I was absolutely gutted about that. It was a huge loss. And then in the Lunar Woods, we also have religious unrest with Lord Marek. I think we have it in most of these lands, to be honest. Yep, High Point, we have cultural unrest and religious unrest. And obviously, poor old Robin, his family were slaughtered, but he did remarry, and he's got a new daughter who's just been born as well, Alla Brightmere. So at least his line is recovering, but yeah, obviously his wife and children were massacred in that revolt. Wolf's Watch, okay, yeah, we've got religious unrest as well, and a recent uprising, local revolt risk. The Dreadfort, we've got religious unrest, and I believe the Bullseye we also have, yet religious unrest and cultural unrest. So yeah, it's not doing too good up there, but the Barrowlands are flourishing very nicely. Lord Edric, who now has a mask for some reason, he's been burnt his whole life, but now decides he needs to wear a mask. He's managed to convert 2 of his provinces already, and he's working on his 3rd one by the looks of it. So yeah, he had no cultural unrest at all, but all this land is still very much in the old god hands, as you can see. And if we go onto the economy, it's pretty poor up here because of the recent revolts, and it's just nowhere near as rich and wealthy and prosperous as old Andalia anyway. And if we go on revolt risk, you'll see that, yeah, a lot of this is very, very red. Lunar Hills, Lunar Woods is a little bit, it's going towards the green, so hopefully we can make that a little bit better. The Dreadfort lands, though, are very green, which is surprising. But yep, High Point and Bullseye, especially Bullseye, wow, is very red. And the Lonely Hills, just to the north. Who runs the Lonely Hills? House Lake. So I wonder what's going on there that's making them so angry. Peasant unrest over the border. So I wonder if they'll get involved with R1. But the rest of Andalia is doing very, very nicely. Apart from the sisters who are having a mini civil war, but we'll leave them to that. I'm not going to even bother getting involved in that. We had a lot more deaths, obviously, in the last episode. We'll go over them quickly for anyone who missed them. We obviously now have Estion as Lord Rack, as poor old Roger finally croaked at the age of 8. We have Ned Morgoth as the new Lord of Warriors Watch, as well as his father. Lord Albert died of, was it pneumonia? Yep, died of pneumonia. What other deaths did we have? And then we obviously had poor old Ellery, which I was gutted about. Where is our sibling? There we go. Lord Ellery of Frosty Shore, who died under suspicious circumstances, but in the lore we made it that the Brotherhood killed him. But he does have a sister, which I completely forgot about until somebody mentioned in, I think it was in the Discord or the comments on one of the videos that they mentioned that he had a sister. I completely forgot about it, so now I'm going to make her important, because her father's still Lawrence Flake, but she is a bastard if I remember rightly. Emma, yeah, Mum was a bastard. Is she in our court? Oh, she is in our court. We could legitimize her into House Flake, so that House Flake at least lives through the female line. It won't be as, they won't get really good land like the original Flakes did, as obviously they were half royal blood, Ellery was. So, oh, she has a brother as well, Master Goldfellow. Okay, but he's not related to Ellery, so a different father. But yeah, now we've got these risks. We've got a lot of risks. We need to try and band our bannermen to us a little bit more, and as a lot of them might be doubting Ambrose a little bit now, and I did notice that some of their opinions of us have dropped quite a bit, maybe because of the first men weddings that we've arranged, obviously our daughter, and then Alice is betrothed to Theon as well. We do need to find a match for Prince Engar, as well as Princess Sansa, but she's still very young, so there's no rush for that, but I'm sure there's some good matches that we can make throughout the realm somewhere. And I'm thinking, as we have religious unrest and cultural unrest, is it maybe time to look for an alliance outside of our kingdom? In the Vale, perhaps, as we have an Arryn Queen, who are obviously Andal religious. She does have a son, Prince Byron of Mountain and Vale. Could we marry him, perhaps? Could we arrange a betrothal between him and our daughter, Sansa? No, we can't. She will not accept this offer. Is that because she doesn't like us, or we can declare war on her, but we're not going to do that. Not at the moment, but we can't send her a gift either because we don't have enough money. Wow, you must have to send her a hell of a lot of money. What about one of her daughters? Could we arrange a betrothal with one of her daughters? Oh, she's a twin with the prince then. Okay. Could we arrange a betrothal between her and our son, Prince Engar? No. That does surprise me, considering we're both Andal. I thought that she probably would accept that, but we could try and improve diplomatic relations with her, because if we can get an alliance with the Vale, for now, that'd help protect us from the old gods if the Riverlands decide to invade us again, or the North. At least we've got the Vale on our side. The enemy of our enemy is our friend and all that, so it might be a good choice. Let's send our Master of Laws, Prince Lionel. Let's send him to improve diplomatic relations with the Vale then, and see if we can try and make something happen there. I'm going to unpause and let things tick over, but we do need guardians for our neutral. I don't really know what to do with young Engar still, as he's obviously not really gained anything yet, so I don't really know what focus to go with. He's got 1 diplomacy and 1 learning, so we could go for one of those with him, but I'm not sure just yet. I've just realised I've not introduced any new characters yet. What am I playing at? There's some that I'm not going to introduce till after the mid-POV, as they're linked with that, yeah, they're linked with that POV and what happens in that POV, so I'm going to introduce those after the gap. But before then, I'll just introduce the ones who can be introduced. Here we have Alphone Woods, and he has a really cool backstory. He's just a common lad, this guy is, from around Sevensport. And at the Battle of, was it at Silver Spear, I think it was, or at the Fever, when, remember, all those years ago, before we expanded our land, and we battled against the North and the Muds, and we suffered that crushing defeat. During that battle, Ambrose lost his horse, and a lord, well, not a lord, just a small folk cavalry soldier, lended Ambrose his horse to carry on leading the army. Then after the war, Ambrose goes back to say thank you to the man and finds out that he's dead and that his wife has died, and he just had the young son who was going to be an orphan, so Ambrose took him home to raise in his court, and here he is now as a 16-year-old boy. He's nothing special stat-wise, just a small folk. He is a naive appeaser. He's a poor fighter. He's shy, trusting, content, diligent, just, and honourable. But it'd be interesting to see if anything happens with him. He is of the old gods as well, which is interesting, but he is our close friend. Then we have Septon Mark, who is going to be our new Septon to replace Roax. There's a massive backstory behind him, which we will get into at some point. He is a mastermind scholar, a Septon, a poor fighter. He's zealous, just, charitable, gregarious, kind, diligent, chaste, content, erudite, and honest. But yeah, we are going to make him as our new Septon. After what Septon Roax has been helping himself to the gold, we'll remove him, and we can finally imprison him now that we have a replacement of him. And then there's 2 more custom characters, but they will not be introduced until after the mid-POV. So yeah, let's get our new Septon. Instead of Septon Roax, we will have Septon Mark, who's not as good in learning, but hopefully he'll be more loyal. Now, can we imprison Septon Roax, considering he's been helping himself to the gold? We need to do something about that, don't we? So here he is, Roax branch. Imprison. Using, okay, so try to imprison Robert. We have a 100% chance of success based on our relative state intrigue. If we fail, he might declare war on us. I don't think he'll do that. We've got 100% anyway. Use this option will increase your tyranny by 10 for a courtier, or 20 for a landed vassal. Your fear will increase by 5. Do we leave him for now as our court tutor? He's been removed as our Septon. Ambrose is quite weak-willed, isn't he? So I think we maybe will leave him for now. Not much. Yeah, we'll leave him for now, and we'll see what he gets up to. Right, let's unpause. May live in harmony. Because I accept your marriage for the custom characters to make sure that they don't die. Hopefully, we're not going to get any more revolts anytime soon. A daughter was born to Yorick Hook and Winifred Snow, named Soraya Greyhammer. Okay, interesting. Ah, okay. So, because Thorin Greyhammer did die very prematurely, but he has had a daughter, so that's okay. Oh, she's a bastard. Ah, okay, yeah. It's not her, actually his, it's actually Lord Hook's daughter then. Fair enough, okay. Your Wisdom and Mercy legendary. I accept your suggestion that John and Sarah get married. Awesome. That's another custom character that we will introduce soon. Speaking of Edric and his children, he has young Walder, young Engar, and young Shira Firehand. Could we haven't actually had a match with House Firehand, so how about we marry Engar, or arrange a betrothal between Engar Firehand and our young daughter Sansa of Andalia. Who was that other courtier with the 7-star sigil? Is it a bastard of some sort? It isn't one of our daughters, so it looked like a young... Yeah, I wonder who that was. Not... Has one of our brothers had another daughter without us knowing that we've missed out on? Rayanna 7-star, our niece. This one, I don't recognise her. Oh, she's Owen's daughter. He's had another daughter. Okay, interesting. And she's, wow, got the quick trait. That's interesting. So we've got a couple more princesses to try and marry off. Rosamund is betrothed to Silvereye. Rylena is 2. Right, so we can find a match for her around the realm. We've made one with the Firehands. Is there any other lords that we could make a match with possibly who have a son? We could have gone with the Bright Minds, but obviously his poor son was slaughtered. Won't mention that again. About Lord Jonas, is he already betrothed? No, he's not, but he's 11. He's a little bit old. Do we have anyone who's close to Lord Jonas's age? Who's actually one of a family member? No, we don't. So we'll leave that for now. What about young Lord Ned of Warriors Watch? We could marry him to our niece, but then again, he's already half 7-star anyway. We don't want to make the blood too ancestral, do we? We want to make sure it's watered down a little bit. What about Lord Holman? His heir is obviously Sir Coleman, who's not had a son yet. Then he's got Mance Bloom and Martin Bloom. They're all too old. What about the Rose Hearts? Lord Medgar, Lord Sir Stefan, who's 17. He has a daughter, so 2. Yeah, so that's not going to work either. I can't wait to we get more about this character as the story progresses, as he is very, very impressive. About the Red Guard, we could get a match with the Red Guard. He has a son, Sir Jorin Redguard, who has a son, Davos Redguard, who is 5. The Red Guards aren't as highborn as some of the others, though, but I didn't want to marry into Morgoth or Rack just yet, because they've already got quite a bit of 7-star blood. I think we should maybe leave it another generation or so first before we do that. And then we'll marry them into the royal family once more. But we could go with Redguard then, couldn't we? Yeah, let's go with Davos Redguard. He is the heir of that land, so we'll arrange a betrothal between him and Rylena 7-star. Send. Has he not got a guardian either? Oh yes, he's our new squire, isn't he? What about some of these other people? Have they not got? Edric Engar Firehand's tutor is a maester. Well, we want to change that, don't we? Let's assign guardian, and we'll go for Edric himself, and it won't let us do that. Oh, he's already got 2. I believe he's already got 2, so that's not going to be able to... We're not going to be able to... No, he's not got any wards, so why can't... Andal Northman, he is Master of Lord. Eric currently considering an arranged betrothal. Oh, because, yeah, we can't do anything with him at the moment until he accepts our betrothal. He's obviously going to accept it, as he loves the 7-star family, so I'd be very, very surprised if he turns that down. But we do need to sort out some other guardianships. Sir Coleman Sunderland accepted Lord Roland of Sweet Sisters a peace offer. Interesting. Your Grace Coleman Sunderland has been defeated. His reign of misrule has come to an end. Lord Byron Sunderland, his heir, shall henceforth rule the sisters. Okay, interesting. He must be very young then, the new Lord of the Sisters. Yes, he's 7, so basically he's going to be a regent. Wow, he's pretty impressive for a 7-year-old. Let's get him a better guardian. Let's offer him a non-aggression patch as well. That would probably be a smart idea. And then we'll arrange a better guardian for him. Blessing upon you and your house. I've decided to accept your suggestion of betrothal between Rylena and Davos. Davos already had a decent guardian, so we don't need to do anything about that just yet. Blessing upon you and your house. I've decided to accept your suggestion of betrothal. Awesome. Can we now assign you as the guardian of young Engar Firehand? No, don't break betrothal. Oops. Assign guardian. Yes, because I wanted him to end up being like you. And I think I might send Colmore, Lord Byron, Sunderland to Edric as well, considering that he also trained his dad. His mum and dad are both in prison now. Yeah, okay, he has a brother as well, and a sister. Your Wisdom of Mercy Legendary. I, Lord Byron of the Sister, accept your proposal for a non-aggression. Awesome, you've accepted that. So, can we assign Guardian, and we will go with Edric for you as well, please. What about your brother? What's he like? Is he good in anything? Yeah, he's not bad either for a 6-year-old, a giant. Let's get you another Guardian. Then we need to arrange guardianships for a lot more of these court members. Let's go with Prince Owen. Oh, we can't go for Prince Owen. What about if we go for Damien Shycross? No, because he already got 2 wards then. Well, let's have a look around some of the others. So Stefan hasn't... Oh no, he's had a daughter, hasn't he? But she's only got 1 intrigue at the minute. Can we assign a guardian for her with decent intrigue? What about Jorin Elderman? Yes, send. Who else has got small children? Oldcastle. Colmore didn't have any sons yet, did he? No. What about his brothers? What are they like? Not really worth messing. Oh no, he's not too bad. Poor fighter. Guardian is Roseheart's wife. We'll leave that as it is then. Davos, did he have any other children? No. What about the others? Have they got children? Yes, we have Dudley Redguard, who's not really anything special at the moment, but we'll assign him an interesting guardian just to give him a good wardship and make a couple of friendships around the realm. Let's send him to... Will he go to Damien? No. Will he go to Jorin Elderman? No. He's definitely not going to go... What about... Yes, there we go. We can send him to Alarion Darkblade. Hornwood. Do we have any racks that need sorting out? We have Joe Rack, whose guardian is Roax. We want to change that. Wow, you're pretty decent in stewardship and diplomacy. Let's get you a new guardian. And... Learn it. You might be better off... Let's send you to Renna. You can be the Queen's ward. And then your sibling, Samwile Rack, Dragon Dreams, and Attractive. I don't think we're going to be able to arrange a betrothal between him and who I wanted to go for. We might be able to find a way around it. Let's have a look. So I want to betroth him to Ronessa Greystark. Let's arrange a betrothal between her and... Do we have Samwile in our court? Yes, we have. But they won't accept... Which is annoying, because that would be an awesome marriage with the Green Dreams and the Dragon Dreams. It would literally make a new Blood Raven, wouldn't it? Oh, and Owen Greystark now has a new portrait. Oh, nice tash. But let's find Samwile a guardian anyway for now then. And focus in, just got to be... We'll go for that. And you're very good at intrigue and learning, so assign a guardian. Who have we got for intrigue? Jorin Elderman. Lady of Greenstar. Yeah, that'll be a good one. You can go live with the Lady of Greenstar. Jonas, who is your guardian? Septon Reynard. What are you good in? You're, wow, very good at martial, diplomacy. You're very good at everything, so you probably are best with someone with decent learning then. Who have we got? Let's send you to Moor for now. There we go. Let's go for your daughter then, Lord Greystark. Decent learning. Let's assign a guardian. And yes, you can go to the Queen actually. Yeah, why not? It's a decent one. Now this is an important one. Young Theon, his guardian is a Bolton at the moment. We don't want that. We do have a non-aggression pact, which is good. But we need to assign a guardian. What are you good at? You're very good at learning, diplomacy. You're pretty good all round. Assign a guardian. Owen, no. What about Lister? I don't think you're going to accept any one that we offer. You're definitely not going to accept a Septon, that's for sure. Have we got anyone old gods in our... that would be a silly one to put John in charge. We must have someone old gods who you might be willing. Alphone Woods, our friend. Then again, he's not going to be the greatest, is he? Got a couple of old gods here. Who have we got? Northman of Raven's Watch. Tita, Winfrey. We don't really have anyone that good. Yorwick? No, I don't think you're going to accept anyone no matter what we do. Let's unpause and let things tick along then, see if we can get anything happening. We're a little bit low on cash. We don't have much money at all. At the age of 48, your bannerman, Lord Roland of Sweet Sister, died under suspicious circumstances. I'm guessing that's something to do with the Sunderlands, considering that they did imprison them. Let's have a look what plots we've actually got going on. Known plots. Replace Walder and become Regent. Dennett of Old Castle wants to become Lord Bolton's Regent. Replace Septon Jorin. Replace Lord Roose Lancer. So Greshel the Ruthless, our cousin, wants to replace Lord Roose Lancer as Justifer in the Warrior's Watch. Your Wisdom and Mercy are legendary. I'm glad to accept the guardianship contract between Queen Rennie and Renessa. Awesome. Replace, now that she's in my court, can I arrange marriages for them? Your Wisdom and Mercy legendary. I gladly accept the guardianship contract between Master Morher and Lord Jonas. Okay, that's all the guardianship's done. Kill John Fenn, Samwell Lake. He's not even in our court, so we can't end that. Replace John Frostfire as Spymaster Sarah Brightmere. So there's nothing against us at the moment. We do have some threats, but they've all got a good opinion. Oh, Lord of Whitford. Lord Josso doesn't have the greatest opinion of us, and neither does Sir Roseheart, which surprised me. He's not got a very good opinion of us at all. Revoke vassals' titles. Yeah, but to give to our own men. Blessing upon you and your house, I gladly accept the guardianship contract between Lord Edric and Lord Brian. Awesome. Right, what was I going to do now? That was it. Now that they're in my court, could I oh, fate smiles upon me and my wife Rennie is pregnant. Awesome. Can we now, as she is in our court as our guardian, can we try and like force a marriage on her between her and, where are you? Samwile. No. I may just force this. Right, we can do it matrimonial. So they get the Greystark name. There is enough racks about that we could do this. I don't think Estienne would mind too much. It's got Valyrian features, so no Andal's going to want to marry him. She gets to keep... So the children have the Greystark name, but then they could get those dragon dreams, which I really, really want. So, yeah, we're going to have to do the marriage like that. But if that's the only way that we can make it happen, then it's tough. That's what we're going to do, because I really want them to have some, like, cool Bloodraven children. Can we now? No, we can't send you a gift, because we need 260 gold. I really want to make a betrothal between a princess of the Vale and our son Engar. Peace with you. I've decided to accept your suggestion of a matrimonial betrothal between Samwile and Ronessa. Anyway, looking back at the revolt risks that we do have in the north, it's now time for the mid POV and the introduction of 2 new custom characters. The sunlight enlightened and heated Jon's skin as he stood at the gates of Sevensport, the great northern Andal city. Birds sang a beautiful song nearby, flowers bloomed and the fish in the river swam across it, a beautiful day so to speak. Sevensport, eh? What a way to glorify its false gods, Jon thought to himself as he got nearer the gates of the castle. He looked up, there were 10 guards guarding the gate's walls. Halt, one of them said. Identify yourself, traveller. Well, I'm just a humble old traveller that seeks adventure in these good lands. I bring no harm, said Jon in a calm tone. What's your name, traveller? Said one of the guards. Oh, how rude of me. My name is Jon and I'm just a simple peasant searching for adventure. The most logical choice would be, of course, this great city, replied Jon, not changing his expression. Do you have any weapons with you, traveller? Asked the guard. Why would I need those, good sir? I'm a traveller, not a knight. The guards looked at each other before one said, Very well, we shall let you pass. Shortly after the gates would open, making a clanking noise of rusty metal. When the gates were finally open, Jon smirked at the guards and ordered his horse to pass it by. The streets of Sevensport had been full of children playing, the markets full of exotic products from lands across the sea. In the distance, the great Sevenstar castle had stood proudly, but for how long now? Jon wasn't bothered about the future of this illegitimate kingdom. For now, he needed to continue his plan, get an audience with the false King Ambrose. He had rode through the narrow alleyways, making his way to the great seat of House Sevenstar. He eventually found a small stable where he could keep his horse. He approached the small stable where the owner stood outside. "Hello, sir, I see you own a horse," said the owner. "Well, yes, how much to keep him here?" asked John. "1 gold star a week, sir." "A gold coin? I'm sure you can make me a better price. Do you think me a high lord?" He chuckled in shock. "Then what's your offer, traveller? I'm all ears." "How about each day I pay you a silver star? I don't have enough coin to pay for the week today, however." "Sir, you've got to understand, life in Sevensport is busy. I need the space for men who will pay outright for my service." "Well, I do understand, but I lack the coin. I promise I will eventually pay my due, else you can claim my horse for your own," said John, smoothing the situation to his side. Very well then," he agreed after looking the horse up and down, realising it was a fine mount. John smirked at the man. "What a stupid man, I won't need his stable when I manage to carve a place for me in the court," John thought. He entered the stable with only a few candles lighting it. There was food and water laid out for his horse. He would then carefully dismount his black stallion, giving him a pat and an apple from his bag. John exited the stable immediately, greeted by the owner. "Don't worry, I'll take good care of him," smirked the man, holding out his hand. John tossed the man his coin and left. He approached the great fortress, the Sevenstar banner flying at its top. "Stop right there!" A young dark-haired knight approached him, clearly the commanding officer, his armour painted with a blue 7-pointed star. John stopped and raised his hands. "Oh, I don't want trouble, sir," he said in a smooth voice. The guard captain and 5 other guards approached John cautiously. "State your reason to come here, stranger." "My name is John. I come from the Hornwood. I seek to join King Ambrose's court." "You seek an audience with our king? You have the smell of a Northman about you," replied the captain in a rude tone. "That is correct, sir," replied John in a calm voice, ignoring the part about his race. "Well, we may let you pass. The king is currently hosting an audience with another as of this moment, so you'll have to wait your turn. Seems there's a lot of you seeking to serve his grace." The captain nodded at the other guards. "But we need to check you first, Northman." "Very well, I have nothing to hide," replied John confidently. The guards searched John's bags. There was nothing of interest, only some small apples for his horse, a small collar of a moose, very common in the Hornwood, and some other clothes for John to wear. They proceeded to search all the pockets in John's clothes, nothing of importance there too, or so it seemed to the guards. "It seems you are clear. Allow us to escort you to King Ambrose," said the captain. John would nod and was escorted to inside the halls of the great palace. The walls were painted red, the floor white, with a great carpet embroidered with red 7-pointed stars, leading to the throne. A huge iron star of the 7 hung above where the throne stood. The throne was made of weirwood, the star of the 7 engraved into it. Even John was impressed by the sight of such a throne room. The king sat the throne. 2 other men were present, one by the king's side, dark-haired and grey-eyed, clearly a Northman. The other was knelt before the throne, a big man with black hair and a great bushy beard. He was dressed in yellow and black. A great red stag stood out on the back of his cloak. The man spoke. "King Ambrose, I am Sir Benjamin Durry. For the past 10 years I have been selling my sword across the narrow sea for many a company. In this time I've become quite the commander, yet I grew homesick and wanted to return to the homelands. I'm from the Stormlands to the south, but for reasons I'm not willing to speak of publicly, I cannot return there. I would offer you my sword, service and loyalty, if you would have me, your grace, and a private word if it pleases my king." King Ambrose scratched his eyes before speaking. "Very well, sir, I will speak with you privately soon. It looks as though we have another guest first, however." The king looked straight at John and the guards. "Step forward, cousin." The captain would bow and say, "Your grace, this Northman who calls himself John seeks an audience with you." "Then I shall speak to him." Ambrose now directly looked at John. John stepped forward suddenly, feeling a bit nervous. He'd finally met the king in person. "My name is John Whitetree. I come from the Hornwood. My family is not very known," said John while bowing. "Very well, John Whitetree. Why do you wish to speak with me?" John then knelt before the king. "I come here, your grace, to pledge myself to you." "Aye? And what about you makes you think I would need your service?" the king asked, never taking his eyes off John. "I'm a Northman, converted to your 7 gods, your grace. I know of the troubles your reign faces to the north against the old god worshippers. I wish to help you guide them peacefully under Andal rule and maybe even convert them to the true gods, bringing peace and great growth to Andalia." Do you know the oath?" "I, John Whitetree, pledge my life and service to House Sevenstar. I promise to serve you and your rightful heirs loyally for the rest of my days. I shall follow every order and command. I shall let the 7 guide me in this journey, as it is righteous for the gods." Ambrose looked amused at his new servant. He looked at the captain and said, "Lister, you shall bring John to his chambers. Welcome, John. Welcome to the court." John would nod and get up from his knees. and follow the captain to his new chambers. Everything was going as planned. Okay, so that has introduced 2 new characters we will go over in a second, but just looking here, Queen Rowena, the Scarred, has declared Queen Rowena's invasion of the Rivers and Hills on King Ambrose the Unreader. So that's interesting. They're going to try and get the Rivers and Hills back under the control of the Vale like they was early on in Enger's reign. But yes, let's go over these 2 new custom characters. We have Benjen Durry, who is a 3rd son of a disposed Durandon king who then fled over to Essos as a sellsword for most of his life, and then he wanted to come back to Westeros and the old way of life, but obviously he cannot return to the Stormland, so he came to Andalia seeking refuge and a new life for himself. He has no interest in trying to claim what could be his birthright or his family's birthright. He doesn't want anyone knowing who he really is. As far as they know, he's a sellsword and or from the Stormlands, and that's it. He is not a Durandon prince. He wants to start a new life for himself away from all of that, and he is a naive appeaser. He's an inspiring leader, an organizer, a flanker, a knight. He's quick, a trained fighter, a strategist, a scholar. He's lustful, proud, brave, and honourable. Very good martial and learning, and he has a red stag on white, which also signals at his Durandon heritage. So that is one. I've made him important already. I've already made him a wife, Yolanda, to make sure that he doesn't die, as custom characters like to. And then the next custom character, who is very important, who we have heard a little bit about in the previous episodes in POVs and chapters, and he's at the centre of a lot of these revolts. But we don't know. This is the first time we're meeting him, and that is John Whitetree. We've got him marked up as important. I'm guessing he doesn't like us. He's got an opinion of 6 of us, which we should probably change. Okay, but he is an elusive shadow. He's a holy warrior, a lightfoot leader, a trained fighter. He's quick. He's a peasant leader, a strategist, a master schemer. He's a socializer. He's zealous, ruthless, proud, authoritative, ambitious, brave, stubborn, honest, and wrath. And he's very, very well balanced. Very good diplomacy, as he'd need to get these small folk on his side. Very good martial and battle commander. He's got decent stewardship, very good intrigue, and okay learning. And he is married to Sarah of Reaver's Watch, who I believe was, and oh god, when I marry her to him, so that's good. So that is our 2 custom characters. He is going to be very important going forward. John Whitetree, we will see a lot more of him. We need a new bodyguard. Let's have a look who we have got. Oswin is obviously banned from that for now. I don't know who you are, of House Bradgood. No idea who the hell are you? Where have you come from? I think we'll go with Benjen for our new bodyguard. Have we got any other things that need filling? I don't think we have. Oh, we've got room for 1 commander. That'll be because Rogar died, won't it? We will go with... we'll go for Benjen Durry for that as well. But let's forward some time along and see if we can get anything to happen. Try and save someone. I want to keep an eye on this war to the south as well. I believe that one of your vassals can be discouraged from associating with conspiratorial factions if the proper leverage is obtained. How do you wish to proceed? Now, who is this? Sir Davos of Sevenstar. Why? What faction is he? We've got the Liege Loyalists, led by Lord Howman of Oldcastle, and the members are Lord Medgar of Whitestar, Lord Manfred of Whitford, Lord Edric, and Lord Brandon. So what faction is he in then? Because it doesn't look like he's in any factions. He's not involved in any plots. We'll obligate the vassal and see what he says. Oh, we've got 1 child lacking an education. Let's have a look at you, Princess Alice. Is this our daughter? Yes, it is. She's pretty well rounded, poor fighter, attractive. Martial's her best, but she's pretty good in stewardship. Let's go for Martial. It'd be interesting to have like an Aya style character, wouldn't it? A warrior princess. Thank you for reminding me of my duties and obligations as your vassal. You are right, of course. For the foreseeable future, you have my promise not to support factions conspiring against you. Signed, Sir Davos of Sevenstar. Lord Brennan of the Sisters. Okay. What quality of education would you like to purchase for your daughter? Well, highly, of course. Improves her learning by 4. We definitely want a high one. We really need some money. We were bringing in shit tons of money before, but now we're not bringing in much at all. Septon Benjicate of Escroft has usurped the title of Sept of Escroft from Ambrose. Oh, Castle Black. Okay, not really bothered about that. And there's loads of Septon stuff going on all over the place. Whoa, what's all that about? Has the Night's Watch been reformed yet? Almost. They've got Brandon's gift back. They are trying to get it back. A castle holding is finished construction in Winterfell. Okay. And a castle holding is finished building in Barrington, which is good. But Winterfell, they're improving, are they? Betrothed can marry. Mance Bloom and Freya Sevenstar on Nice. Awesome. Let's have a look at her again. What was she good at? Pretty good at martial and learning. And she's a zealot. Okay, centre there is another royal wedding. That's going to improve relationships with the Blooms of Oldcastle, who, as we know, are a very powerful vassal. They can raise nearly 4,000 men, which is pretty impressive for just one lower lord. May live in harmony and contentment. I accept your suggestion that Freya and Mance get married. Unfortunately, that isn't the heir, as we missed out on the chance to marry to the really impressive heir. An agreement has been reached between Lord Holman to see Mance Bloom and Freya Sevenstar wed, and now the dowry is due to the groom's house. We should give them plenty of gold and silver, offer the customary amount, a token gift. Well, he already likes us, so we'll offer the customary amount for now, because we're not made of money at the moment. We're pretty low on money, actually. How are the Starks getting on in there? Well, oh, and we have another peasant revolt already. Lothar of Weeping Bay Peasant Revolt has declared peasant revolt for Frosty Shore on King Ambrose of Andalia. The peasants have risen in Frosty Shore, led by a disgruntled former soldier. The rebels have the nerve to demand independence. Lothar of Weeping Bay. And he's hostile towards everybody. He is a brilliant commander, a holy warrior, an organizer, a flanker, peasant leader, poor fighter, ambitious, charitable, deceitful, and envious. He doesn't have a lot of men, though. The peasants have... Okay, it's blasted traitors. Right, but at least he doesn't have 20-odd thousand men like the last traitor did. Okay, so... Do you know what? Shall I send him an insult? That'd be quite funny. Let's send him an insult. Just for the fun of it. Do it. You have the letter for Lothar, compose and sign it. In short, I despise you. You are an envious peasant, and your deceitful peasant ways repulse me. Signed, King Ambrose of House Sevenstar. That will teach the foul peasant. But this is not good for our economy. Yet again, we're having a rebellion. Will Lord Brandon be able to raise enough men? 2,500 men. What about the Frosty Shore? No. And Luna Woods is obviously under siege. We'll get... Is Brandon actually a commander? Because it'd be good to get him to lead it himself up there. Just... feels more right that way. Bowen Reed is leading it, which... Okay, we'll leave... Who is in... What is Brandon like in Marshall? 13, yeah, he's not the most martial base, is he? But that should be enough men to relieve this attack up north. Speaking of north, I was going to check before that how the Starks were getting on in their war. Defending against Lord Helmond of Flint's Finger, and they're losing that by 26%. Defending against another Andal invasion. I'm getting fed up with these Andal invasions in the north. It's just constant. How many men do Winterfell have? How many men does he have raised at the moment? Oh, at the moment. He has 6.2 thousand. A son was born to Prince Owen of Andalia and Eleanor Salzard, named Rodwell. Rodwell Sevenstar. Do you know what? I quite like that. Rodwell. Okay, so we now have a nephew, which is awesome, and he is attractive. Let's see if we can get him to go down the diplomacy route then. Let's assign him a guardian straight away in the diplomacy route, as he's attractive and he's started off with that straight away. Can we go with you? Yes, we can. Awesome. Right. We need to attack them before they siege Frosty Shore. Else, oh god, we get a river disadvantage, so that could end badly. Hopefully we'll be okay because we've got more men. Let's put a couple more commanders in there. Damien Shycross, who is getting a bit old and ill. And we'll go with Lister Sevenstar. And we'll bring this second peasant revolt down, which is nowhere near as strong as the first. They're like 10%. Thankfully, because that other one was fucking huge and it caused a lot of damage. But it's awesome that we now have a nephew. And our wife's pregnant as well, so that'll be interesting. I wonder if we'll get another son. I really, really hope that we get another son. Your bannerman, Lord Bowen Fenn, has returned from Battle of Frosty Shore alive, but has suffered a very gruesome and horrific injury. Severely injured, one-legged and one hand. Oh, yeah, bastard. So he's lost his hand and his leg. Yeah, he really is severely wounded. We haven't got an honorary title to give him. I felt like I should give him something for his hard work there. We could send him a gift. We haven't... It doesn't increase his opinion of us. At least he's alive, even though he's been maimed. But it looks like we are going to win that battle at the Frosty Shore, so that's good. Battle of Rangers Refuge. Yes, we've won that battle. Offer peace, end forced demands. Yes. The peasant revolt for Frosty Shore has ended. King Ambrose of Andalia has won. Let's have a look at this man then. High Lordship of the Rills. Okay, so he's under Lord Clay the Black of... Okay, so is he one of his bannermen of House Riswell? Could we go to war against you then, considering we can ransom the prisoner with you, but no, we're not going to do that. We will keep him in our prison cell for now. What can we do with him? We can banish him to the Night's Watch. We can execute him to make a point. I think we'll leave him for just for now. We could probably do something with him then for the next episode. We're not going to release him. That's one thing we're definitely not going to do. Got a new plot. Replace replace John Frostfire as Spymaster. Wow, everybody is joining in with this by the looks of it. Nobody wants him as Spymaster. I can understand why, if I'm honest. There isn't really much that we can do as a plot-wise, so not that I'd want to do anyway. Is there anything we can do in here? Not really. We really need to make some money, but with all these revolts happening, it's hard to do. King Ambrose the Unready has inherited High Lordship of Duskindale and other titles. How's the Vale getting on in their war? 4% in her favour. Can we please arrange a betrothal between your daughter and my son? No. They wouldn't even accept a matrimonial marriage. I really want to sort that. My prisoner Lothar is complaining about his dark cell. Let him rot for now. Right, let's have a look at those revolt risks. Are they still just as bad? Okay, so it's getting a little bit better in some of our other lands, which is good. But the bullseye is still very bad, as well as High Point. Still pretty bad, but it is getting better. So that's good. My chastery has led to my rivals to question my masculinity. Angai Silver, I'm getting pissed off with this guy. This guy is such a dickhead. He is depressed. Well, if you weren't such an arsehole, people might like you. Strong claim on the High Lordship of the Coastlands. Okay, so whose court are you in now? Lady Lyanna of Ramberton. All the way down there. Why are you still sending me insults then, you absolute arsehole? Don't forget that I do end POVs as well now, guys. If you want to watch that at the end of the episode to do more story that's been in the last couple of episodes, I'm looking at doing a beginning, middle and end for POVs now in every episode so that we can get like a little short story in every episode. And we've had another daughter yet again. Right, so we've got Princess Alice, Princess Violet, Princess Sansa. At least we do have a nephew now, so at least we've got a little bit more in the way of male 7 stars. Let's look for a... Let's look for another name. Let's see if we can find a nice name for you. Nice. Something a bit different. We've already got Sansa. Gian, Meliscent, Arwen, Shana, Jansia, Janny, Fruella, Melora, Eleanor. There's some really strange ones. Could name you after our sister, maybe. One of our sisters. We've got Princess Rosalind, who's still going. She's still doing very well. Princess Rosalind of Andalia. What was... Jonquil, wasn't it? Let's name you Jonquil after our aunt. She was obviously very important in the early stages of the realm and very important to our father Enga. So yeah, we'll go with Jonquil 7-star for our 4th daughter. When are we going to get some more sons? We need sons. It's turning colder and colder. The people of Sevensport can no longer work the fields. Right, is the Night's Watch at war with the Wildlings? Who's the Lord Commander? Lord Commander Lyman of the Night's Watch. Let's have a look at his court. Okay, Jonas Nye, because Jonas Nye are just everywhere. Daniel of Danwell's Host has declared Daniel's Host invasion of Acorn's Ridge on King Ambrose the Unready. Okay, interesting. Where is Max Richards? There's another Jogus Knight. Why is the Jogus Knight everywhere? There's no like Dothraki or Esossi or anything. It's just Jogus Knight. Another Jogus Knight. There's just Jogus Knight absolutely everywhere. And I've got no idea why. Really got no idea. Okay, there's a lot of Southern Lords at the Night's Watch. Where's Max Richards? Where have you gone, Max? Brandon's Gift. Are you in Brandon's Gift? Are you a brother there? No. Have you died? I don't think you've died. It would have popped up if you died. You are one of our friends, Max, so we'll find you on here. Max Richards, there you are. Andal Northman. Your liege is Commander Alishar Rivers of Sable Hall. Oh, so you're under a different liege under the Lord Commander, Max. Okay. Be interesting to see if he could raise high. And then if we go into Maiden's Gate and look at the smaller and we go to the Sept of the Broken Branch Mouth, I'm sure if we go into your court, there we go, Elena Shycross as a silent sister down here in Maiden's Gate. We really need some money. We need some money. I'm not going to take a loan out because we don't actually need to spend it on anything. I just want to raise money to improve Andalia. Your Grace, for too long, Janus Fawn has occupied my rightful seat. Who are you? Meribund Colwyn. Merchant Republic. Where are you from over there? I will not act against Lord Paramount Jason. I'm not interested, to be honest. Down south is still a complete mess with this whole Dornish Iron Man, Reachman shitfest that's going on. Dawn are at war with the Stormlands. I've got no idea what's going on down there, if I'm honest. If I'm perfectly honest, I'm just sort of leaving them to it and hoping they don't mess the game up too much. But my god, look at the border gore down there. It's disgusting. Perwyn of High Heart Revolt is declared Peasant Revolt. Okay, so there's Peasant Revolt going on down in the Riverlands as well now. Which would be a good time for us to invade the Riverlands if we didn't have our own problems at home. And if we could invade them without trying to take everything. Truces are expiring with the Rills? Oh no, Chief Mikon. He's still alive. Urban Salazar has had Kin of the Stad added to their treasurer. Okay, interesting. Perwyn accepted King Ambrose the Unready's peace offer. So he's ended the Peasant Revolt pretty easily. What have we got here? Invite to a plot. Your Wisdom and Mercy Legendary, we would like you to back our plot to replace John Frostfire as Spymaster. No, but if you do manage to do that yourselves, then I will completely leave that to you. That's perfectly fine with me. Replace Lord Edric Firehand as Master at Arms. The peasants in Sevensport spend a long time on the road in order to meet with the Septons, or so your Septon Mark claims. He suggests that it would be in your best intention to construct local shrines. In that way, the peasants would not have to travel far in order to worship. Less travelling means more work being done. Lose 40 gold, gain 25 piety, and our monthly piety improves as well as our prosperity. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer really, isn't it? How are the Starks getting on against the Flints now? They are losing massively. What about the host that's attacking them? They're also losing that. So the Starks are getting fucked over yet again. Seems to happen a lot. Could we form a marriage with you? That could ease things at rest. Princess Sybil. I'm just interested. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm just out of interest. No, you would not consider that at all. What about your heir to our daughter? No, you're not interested in that at all. That's all right. I didn't think you would be. I was just curious. We do have a new daughter now that we need to marry off to another High Lord. He's only got the one daughter at the moment. Salzard only has a daughter at the moment. You're obviously a lot older. We do need to arrange a betrothal for you, though. Is there someone you could marry, Lord Jonas, in our court? Who would be a good match for you? The Flake girl, maybe. Do you know what? Yeah, let's marry you. You're 13, she's 16, so you're only a little bit younger. We'll marry you to Ellery Flake's sister, and the Flake line can carry on through Lord Hooton. And I want to make sure that he gets a match as well. How's Lord Arlen getting on? His wife isn't pregnant or anything just yet. Oh, she's already got children. Okay, interesting. Luna Woods, just a daughter. There must be a son somewhere around the realm. Could we marry a blue star to a red star? That'd be interesting. Sir Narbut. He does have a son, Hollis Sevenstar, of the blue to the red, but that'd be very ancestral. I think it's a little bit too early for that. Okay, so Estian Rack has had a daughter with his new wife. That's awesome. Manessa Rack, and she's got the quick trait. Wow. Very, very impressive. I'm going to mark her as important so we can keep an eye on her. I won't assign her a guardian or anything just yet. Let's see what she develops into. But that's awesome that he's had a daughter now. Peace be with you. I've decided to accept your suggestion of a betrothal between Mela and Lord Jonas. Awesome. Actually, let's arrange a betrothal between her and... where is he? Rodwell. They're the same age, so Rodwell, Sevenstar, and Manassa Rack. Keep the racks on the side a little bit more, which we obviously want to do. Joa Rack, you still haven't got a bride. I don't really know what we could do with you for a bride. We need to find somebody for you, but we want to make sure it's the right match. There'll be somebody around at some point. I'm sure your father will find somebody for you at some point. But yeah, we're still looking for a match for our youngest daughter. There's got to be somebody in the realm somewhere, hasn't there? Who is decent enough for our daughter. There is no one better at increasing the faith's opinion of me or teach me to become a more pious man than my Septon Mark. I need to talk to the church, gain 10 vassal opinion, the prosperity of your capital county increases. Teach me to be a more pious man, Mark. No, we'll go with the prosperity. Your Grace, I'm pleased to report that the majority of the population in the Fever has converted to the faith of the Seven. My God, Edric Firehand, you really don't piss about, do you? You get things done. The Wisdom and Mercy Ledger have decided to accept the suggestion of the betrothal between Rodwell and Manus. How is down south looking faith for the Seven Wise? Still a massive mess and patch all over the south, but the Vale and the Riverlands are slowly turning. But at least all Southern Andalia is on the same page. That's one good thing. We need a match for... What about a Josso? Oh my God, how many kids have you got, Lord Manfred? Maybe a Josso then for our daughter. Let's have a look. The daughter was born to Alphone Woods and Cynthia of Winterfell, named Sarah. Sarah Woods. Okay, awesome. But yeah, let's go back to your father. How many sons has he got? Wilbert Josso 9. Garrett Josso 7, Willis Josso 6. Ugle, timid. None of them are anything really too special. If he'd had a son, that would have done. You know what? Ned Morgoth, he's 5. Let's go for you. Let's arrange a betrothal between Ned Morgoth and who else have we got? Okay, we've got the Wildling Yell, who is Andal. She could work for Ned Morgoth. I'm looking closer to his age so he doesn't have to get married too late. I want to make sure that he gets married like as soon as he can get married. We'll go for her actually, yeah. Rowan, Maiden, send, yes. At the age of 44, your acquaintance, King Ambrose of the Rivers and Hills, died under suspicious circumstances. Master Edric of Hardmead died a natural death. Lord Boar at the age of 74. Is Lady Elena now? No, does that mean that we've gained Hardmead back? Maybe then. May live in harmony and contentment. I've decided to accept your suggestion of the betrothal between Rowan and Lord and Ned. Awesome. Does that mean that we've now gained that back? I think that we will have. Yes, Castle of Harwoods. Oh no, there's a castle over here. Harwoods Hold. A castle under Edric that's been built. Who could we give that to? Who would make a good vassal for Lord Edric Firehand? We must have someone who'd make a good vassal for Edric in our court. Arian Darkblade might make a Jorin Alderman. I don't know if he's the sort of person who'd be good underneath Lord Edric. It's going to have to be an Andal, obviously. Who could we give land over there? Who's not been landed? Must be... Well, Mendleton won't do because they hate each other. Did a few houses that haven't... Ooh, Rosbear. Okay, we've got a Duskendale person here up north now. Where have they come from? We've got the Steel Hearts, Rodwell, Steel Heart. Okay, so Steel Hearts had a son finally. Awesome. Who are owed land at some point. But I wanted to give them a little bit more impressive land than just a sitter. Well, a small castle. Let's give the castle to... Where was he? Should we give it to Alderman? Let's give it to Jorin Alderman. Grant landed title, Castle of Harwood's Hold. Send. We can change the name for that if you guys want to recommend a change for that. And then we need to transfer vassalage of Jorin to Edric. So he's his vassal. There we go. King Ambrose of Andalia has transferred the vassalage of Sir Jorin of Harwood's Hold to Edric of the Farthest Field, which will keep him on side and stop him getting angry. So who did... If he's died, who did the City of Goldenfield go to? Oh no, the City of Goldenfield has always been Damien. So what's that order? Raymond of Sevens of Seaguard Peasant Revolts. Oh wow, we've got another revolt going on in the Riverlands. The Riverlands are a mess. Where was it that he was in charge of then? Hardmead, City of Hardmead, City of Goldenfield. It was Golden. No, I'm doing it wrong. Goldenfield is Damien Shycross. And Hardmead is Master Theobald. Who are you? We'll revoke your title. Which is going to upset vassals, which is annoying because it shouldn't even be your title. I'm going to give it to one of my own men, thank you. It's a sitter, so we want to give it to someone who's going to be decent in a sitter. I'll have a look in a second. It grieves me deeply. Well, I'm sorry about that. Right, sitter. Who would be good as the owner of a sitter? I'm going to be somebody with... Oh, what about the Roynish guy? Not stewardship-wise, though. Someone with decent stewardship, really, for a sitter. What about Timor? I'd rather give him a castle, though, once we have a castle built. Mendleton. He's got decent steward. Yeah, let's go for... He has got a son as well now. Grant him the landed title, City of Hardmead. There you go, Gerald Mendleton. You've been around for a long time, but you finally got your own land after I don't know how long it's been. But with that, we'll end this week's episode here. Thank you all so much for watching as always. Please don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button as well, and comment down below as well to chat about the series or anything else that you want to chat about to do with this or anything. And don't forget there's an end POV, so check that out after the episode. Thank you all so much for watching as always, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon. Halman Bloom sat at the head of the council table beside the king's own seat. He had been made the hand of the king by Ambrose. It was the proudest moment of his life. Even his father may have been slightly proud of him, had he still been alive. On second thoughts, maybe not. Halman didn't think his father had ever been proud of him, or any of House Bloom for that matter. If he ever was, he hid it very well. He looked around at the other High Lords and council members present. There were some highly respected men present, such as Lord Edric Firehand and Estienne Rack, the son of the late Rogar. He knew his brother-in-law would serve their king well. Then there were the others. The bastard of the enemy, 2 Thirstmen formerly loyal to the Wolves, and worst of all the Valyrian, the son to that up-jumped slaver Damien. Donico was placing the new map of Andalia his father had commissioned for the council in its frame so the servants could hang it. It was a glorious sight to behold. His father's health wouldn't allow him to present it to the king himself, but this would be a nice surprise. Estienne and Brandon talked amongst themselves as Theon entered the room with his sister and uncle. The council chambers were large and elegant. Theon marvelled at the splendour of Sevensport and of the king's castle. Other council members came and took seats at the great weirwood table as Lord Firehand arrived and nodded to Halman. Theon was motioned over by Lord Rack, and as he approached with his uncle and sister, Halman Bloom stopped them in their tracks. "You two are not needed for this meeting. You may wait in court for your lord when council business is finished." Theon's sister shot the hand a deadly look, and Theon's uncle replied, "I am his regent, Lord Hand. I am allowed to attend this meeting." Halman looks him straight in the eye. "I am the hand of the king, and you will either walk out that door of your own accord, or I will throw you out that window to the courtyard far below." With a look of shock on both their faces, they departed past the king's bodyguard Lister, and not the window. Ambrose entered the new chambers for the first time and saw his new council. He knew his kingdom would grow at some point, but he never expected it to be this much at once. Rogar had told him it would take longer, but now even he was gone. Ambrose took his seat at the head of the table. Howman stood and spoke first. "My lords, I'm sure you all know why his grace has gathered us here." "Aye," Brandon said, studying the people around the great weirwood table. "We need to sort this whole mess out." Estienne looked around and interjected. "Let us move on to current business at hand. Now that the war has ended, we need to establish trade across the entire realm so that we all prosper. Our top priority should be pacifying the small folk," Brandon said, nodding to Estienne. "We have the rebellion leaders in captivity, so making sure money flows throughout the realm again should quell any further unrest. More money means more small folk are fed and warm and happy." Lord Firehand sat down his goblet and replied, "What will be done about the traitors? I say we execute them for all to see." Estienne pondered. "If it would settle anything, I'd agree. But how do we know it will do any good? It may make them look sympathetic." Brandon nods. "There is a chance they could be seen as martyrs. We need to handle this carefully, my lords." Ambrose listens to all the forthcoming proposals and counter-proposals. "Build more cities," say Lord Rack, Greystark and Crescent. "More castles, more men," say most of the rest. Back and forth each subject is debated. Minor disagreements between import tariffs proposed by Lord Shycross's son Donico and establishing trade with the coastlands. Lord Bloom and Firehand nearly come to blows over the establishment of a permanent standing army, who it would comprise and who would lead it. All the while Ambrose notices how still and quiet young Theon Bolton has become. He seems small even for his age among all the grown men. His hands are held neatly in his lap, and he is looking at the lords talking. He has a blank expression on his face, and for some reason this bothers the king. Ambrose raises his hands for silence, and everyone looks to their king. Ambrose looks at the young lord of the Stranger's Hills and asks, "What do you make of all this, Lord Theon?" The young boy's snowy pale eyes instantly lock with Ambrose. He tries to speak, but can't quite make the words come out. "It's alright, young lord. I simply wish to know if you understand what's going on." Theon quickly pushes his seat back and stands. "My king, I have only recently become acquainted with court business, and I know nothing of what is being spoken about here. All I know is what my uncle tells me." Ambrose looks interested in what the boy's uncle said. "And what would that be?" he asked. Theon swallowed hard and took a deep breath. "He said that we are slaves to foreign invaders, that our new vassals would kill us for little to no reason, and that you'll burn all the godswood and try and convert all our small folk." Ambrose stands and looks at him with compassion. "I would not wed my own daughter to a slave. I have no intention of ever burning a godswood. It has been decreed that a man may worship any god so long as he remain loyal to House Sevenstar and keep the king's peace." Ambrose walks around to the boy and puts a hand on his shoulder. "And Dahlia is a different place. We do not hold the sins of the past in the present, you will see." The meeting continued for hours while the other lords tried to explain to the new High Lord what they were doing and why it was needed. Debates and arguments went on for the rest of the day and into the next.